guys? Welcome back to SKG Outdoors. Welcome back to Talking Hunting with me, your host, Austin Schreck. Tonight's guest is going to be a follower that we've been following along with. Bigger name in the Instagram world for sure. His name is Reese Johnson, if you've ever heard of him. We'll have him on in just a few minutes. I did want to just touch on one thing real quick. Company that we've been using for a little over a year now, called Rackology. They've been an awesome company to work with. If you guys haven't, you need to go check them out. Their website is rackology.org. What they offer is all kinds of different things, food plot stuff. They have vitamins and minerals for deer. They've got bedding materials that you can plant on your farm. They got fertilizers, pretty much anything you need. They also are co-sponsoring a giveaway that we're doing right now that we've been doing since beginning of December called Deer of the Year. And they're actually giving the winner of this competition a 4x4x4 pallet of like $1,500 worth of their stuff. So it's going to be awesome. If you haven't yet, you need to go check them out. They're what your deer want. Anything you can find. Give me just 1 second. I'll get Reese joined in on us here. Reese, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, flip your phone sideways so we're the same looking. There you go.
That would be better. Do this.
What's up, man?
Oh, here at the house, hanging out, trying to figure out where the best spot to do this is.
Yeah, are we going live a little late? You got kids, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I've got a 4-year-old, but she is at my parents' house tonight, so I've got a babysitter.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Well, I just wanted to, have a conversation, show the people that are our followers kind of who you are and what you're all about.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Well, I was just mentioning a company that, we've been working with for a while called Rackology, and I don't know, man. You're pretty much just a deer hunter, or what?
Yeah, that is my number one. That's what I enjoy the most. That's where I spend most of my time and my dollars. I like to do it all if I can help it, but deer has always been number one for me and for us. It's where we spend our time, and had a pretty good year. I cannot complain. But I had some luck there, and moving on into duck now.
Where do you hunt primarily?
I live about right out of Paducah, Kentucky, so I'm about as far west you can go in this state. I can be in Missouri, Tennessee, or Illinois within an hour.
Okay.
As far as you can go.
Got it. You do mostly public or private land, or both, or?
I do a little bit of both, but mostly private. I'm pretty fortunate in that regard. We've lived here for probably 15 years or so, and so I'm pretty lucky. I've gotten a few leases and a few places. I do spend some time on public. I like to mix it up, and if I can get a bonus tag here and there, with what I've done the last couple of years, that's what I do. So I get to catch the right quota during the right time of year. I will burn either my bonus tag or my state tag if it's worth it on some of those hunts.
Got it. Well, anybody who's following along with the live, or anybody that sees this later on YouTube, if you haven't seen it yet, go over to Reese's page. It's what is it, Reese Johnson?
Reese Johnson 7.
Reese Johnson 7. Go over to his page and check it out. He killed a monster buck this year. Massive time. That thing was a stud.
I'm trying to turn my head sideways and read all these comments.
Read the comments? Yeah, I try to hit him at the end. Somebody just said Reese is the OG.
Well, I that's old Jake. He knows about it.
So you like all the guys that you guys are with, like you and Alex Lang and what's the other guy, Nick Hagedorn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all kind of work together, and it's gone well for us to do that, and we all trade hunts and go back and forth, and I do a lot of bow fishing in the summertime. That's what I like to bring folks down here to do, because it's one of those you can't do it as far as what we shoot. It's a little bit different than other areas, and so we've got those Asian carp around here.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty good with that, and so we do that in summertime. And then this year I went deer hunting with Alex, and he's came deer hunting with me the last 2 or 3 years. And I did shoot his big deer this year. So I'm going to have to get him hooked up next year.
Yeah.
But that was the big one. And, you know, I mean, I was there for 4 days, first 4 days of gun season. And that second morning, he came right on out chasing the doe. So I did hesitate for about a half a second.
You can't pass it up, right?
That's right. We gross scored him at 177. So
that's a stud.
Well, that's my biggest deer, of course. And then I followed that up with a public land shotgun buck on Fort Knox, and that deer scored 151. And so that was a hell of a deer. That's something else. It's a lot of work to get in there and do a lot of to get in there and do hunting or hunt, period. But it's a lot of work. But I'm telling you what, those places like that, you can get on in some of those areas, and those deer, they get old. The deer that I shot was 7.5 years old, and it's hard to get that on anywhere else really. But Army Bass are a pretty often overlooked area, and we've had some good success there. And I'd like to try some more scattered around the country. It's actually something I'm looking into more.
Right. Well, hey, maybe you know, if we keep this relationship up, we can go to Kentucky next year, and you guys can come up to Missouri because we got places to hunt.
I definitely plan to try to make a few more trips. I've been to Kansas the last 2 years waterfowl hunting. I'm really wanting to add that on the list for deer next year.
Yeah.
And try to get that done. And so that is on my to-do list: Missouri, Kansas, and Kentucky. And then I can get a Kentucky bonus deer when you go hunt on Fort Knox. And so, so that's what I did this year, minus Kansas. But that is what I've been doing, and I've had pretty good luck with it. I think, you know, my family, I haven't done it, but one of us, being mostly my dad or myself, have taken a 150 or better around here, and I think it's like 8 of the 9 last 9 years or so. I mean, but you know, we're diehards. I mean, every weekend, every you know, I'm already planning next year's. You know, we're going this weekend's the last weekend of duck season. Yeah. So I'll probably do a little bit of that, but after that, we're gonna be back to taking down stands, looking for sheds. I'm already planning. Which I've already got a list for quota hunts for next year, what I'm putting in for where I'm going, and trying to get those scheduled. And so,
are you planting like all your food plots and everything yourself too?
Yeah, we plant about 15 acres, and we plant a fair variety. Most of it, I'd love to do some real grain, you know, some corner beans, but we just don't really have the equipment or the ability, and so. Well, we mostly do wheat, clover combos in areas where we know clover is going to grow well, and we'll do a perennial, you know, in some spots. And then in other areas, we'll do wheat and turnips. We've even tried some alfalfa this year. So a lot of green, really. You know, we don't do summer plots. We mostly just do those perennial clover plots for 2 or 3 years. And then, you know, we've kind of figured out if you can really maintain those, keep them sprayed, keep them mowed, they work out pretty well, and the deer really like them.
Right. And what do you do? What do you do for work?
So I'm a real estate agent, but I specifically focus on land. I work for Keller Williams Land right here in Kentucky. So I cover 16 counties around here, but I've driven a lot further than that to do a deal and, you know, to sell a farm. It's just so, you know, I kind of fell into that backwards. I always thought I wanted to do real estate in some way. I guess we got it as a side job, and then got laid off from the job I got as I came out of college, and it just kind of took off, and I've been doing that for the last 3 years. And so I really enjoy it. You know, it allows me the flexibility to do what I want to, and, you know, have the schedule I want to be able to hunt and go around and do things. You know, the downside of that, it's a commission only gig. And so if you're not out, you know, making something happen, you're not paying the bills. And so it's, it's one of those things where you kind of got to be pretty self-motivated and really get out there and find people. And so between that and this, you know, this being social media and all the things I like to do, I've gotten to meet a lot of folks from all over, and, you know, doing all kinds of different things. You know, a lot of my clients are from down south, gotten some from the north and the west. Everybody's looking to come to Kentucky, you know, whatever you want to call it, sleeper state. You know, we have a really good reputation, over-the-counter tags, pretty cheap land prices in comparison to a lot of the other Midwest.
Yeah.
Lots of folks are coming here, to have a good place to hunt, have a decent drive. And, that really helps me out, and I get to do what I like.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, we post like once a day, a different deer story from, anybody across the U.S. I couldn't tell you how many freaking people came from Kentucky this year just with studs. It's,
Yep.
I've never heard it called the sleeper state, but man, it's there. You guys are doing good down there. I know that.
Well, I thoroughly enjoy it. And, being over here, and I'm, as far west as we are, a lot of people overlook this area. When they think of Kentucky, they're always about the thoroughbreds, the races, Louisville, Lexington. Louisville and Lexington still are 3 and 4 hours from me. So almost 5 hours is still be in Kentucky going straight east. So there's a lot of this state that a lot of folks don't necessarily really think about or consider. We're far enough west that we look a lot more like the true Midwest, being
right.
Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, than even some of the eastern Kentucky ground.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So in the off season, you said you do a lot of bow fishing. We also talked earlier. You said you do a lot of shed hunting too.
Yep, I sure do. I think last year picked up 83 antlers, and so I put on. I'd be scared to tell you how many miles that took. I would be willing to bet it was over 150 on foot.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they, don't know how to find them, or they struggle to find them, and it's really taken me a few years to kind of get the hang of it and really kind of know where to look and gain, permission and property and the right places. But it's kind of one of those things when you really kind of figure it out and you spend a little time with it, and you see that first antler, and then you see the next antler. It just kind of gets
right.
Know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And there's so much easier to find. But I think I picked up 7 or 8 from the truck last year. I'm bad at driving down the road. I'm always looking out in the fields, on these back roads where you'll see deer. I think last night I was coming home and there was a certain field that I picked up one out of. There's probably 30 deer in that field, and I always check that field. But I actually picked one up a couple years ago. It was laying probably 10 feet from the highway. They were up there eating that fescue right there in the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking like Ohio River bottoms up there. That's pretty close to me. There's plenty of water around here. That's a fact. And I may talk about that in a minute when it comes to bow fishing. But the shed hunting for most folks, and for my area, or Midwest in general, a lot of folks don't really know when to start looking or where to look. And I'll just kind of touch on that briefly. And I really kind of start getting after it about Valentine's Day. That's the time of year where I'd say 40 to 50% on the ground as far as antlers go.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm going to be hitting any area that I may potentially be worried about somebody else looking. So if I'm looking on public land, or if I'm looking on, maybe I've got some shared permission or something like that, I'm going to be checking all my fields, looking anywhere that's an obvious, deer might be feeding in it, specifically and most likely a crop field where I'm thinking somebody else might see that big antler before I do.
Right.
And I may check fields like that 3 and 4 and 5 times, especially in areas where I have deer that I really want to find antlers to because I'm building a history. And that's one of my favorite things about whitetail.
Right.
Able to build a history, 2 and 3 and 4 years. And so that is, that's one of my favorite things, period, is I'd almost rather hunt one deer all year long, a deer that I've had history.
Yeah.
And I lost that battle, but that is my goal, and that's what I enjoy more so than going out there and just, a random deer. That may be a little bit bigger. I would take one that I had history with. It just means more to me that way.
Right.
But going back to that, February 15th is a good day to start. That's kind of when I'm going to start hitting the fields, checking my food plots. And if I can wait, I'm going to wait till about March 15th. And that's kind of when I'm really going to hit the bedding area, start really diving in. And then you kind of got a window there before it really starts greening up and getting closer to turkey season. And so that's when you kind of want to take advantage of the bedding areas. And so pretty much that time of year, you're talking about food to bed. That's all deer worrying about. So you figure where they're feeding, if they're feeding,
Right.
or if they're feeding in a cut cornfield or cut bean field, and then they're not usually going too far to bed. So really, that's kind of the focus is bedding, transitioning food. I mean, that's normally what we talk about, but we really, it's usually a little smaller range when it's that kind of good. Especially if it's cold, the deer will be a little bit more concentrated than in summertime or
Right.
if it's a warm winter, they'll be more spread out and be tougher to find antlers. Period. If it gets green early, some years, I think it was 2 years ago, March 15th, it's green as could be. Turkeys were out there doing their thing. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
And so that makes it a little more difficult, but I surely enjoy it. And I don't. A lot of people don't do it, but it is growing in popularity, and I try to post about it and do that quite a bit if I can get away and put on some miles.
Yeah. Do you do a YouTube page?
I don't. I've thought hard about doing the video or anything along those lines. I've just kind of stuck to social media and pictures specifically. That's always kind of worked for me and done what I needed to do. And not good with the camera. Don't have the concentration to sit there and go that route. I've told you the idea, thrown about it, but
Yeah.
I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So I just keep it to this: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then if I'm not, posting pictures about anything I've done, I'm usually posting pictures about a property I've got for sale. So.
Right. Well, we're going to be putting together a shed hunting series this spring, probably somewhere around like the middle of February, moving forward, and just trying to basically record everyone we've picked up and see what that comes out to. But I know we've got a couple farms around this area in St. Charles, and then our private properties are up in northern Missouri, so we'll probably be doing all that this year. So if you do get some, which sounds like you're going to, you can always send them our way, and we'll add them to the video. But yeah, man, that's really all I've got for you. You want to add anything? You want to look through these questions and see if anything?
No, it's mostly a bunch of trolls. It looks like.
Somebody said you need a haircut.
Yeah, you gotta let it go for duck season.
We want real talk. What do they want us to start cursing?
For all got in Kentucky this year.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, I think all these guys are your followers, actually.
Well, I don't do the live thing often, but
yeah.
But I think they're taking full advantage of it.
Well, that's cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate meeting you.
If anybody has any questions about real estate in general or farms or anything along those lines, whether it's in Kentucky or any other state, that's what or hunting, or outdoors in general, we can talk about that. But a lot of folks don't really know when it comes time if they're looking for a place to hunt and looking to buy. In general questions, I'll be happy to answer along those lines. And or anything about Western Kentucky in general, that is my job. I get lots of folks from all over who come here looking for different things, and I get to show them around and tell them about exactly what I like as far as Kentucky goes, and what makes it better than any other part of the country, or why they should invest their money and their time in a place like this. So I really like Kentucky. I think I've made that clear.
Well, if you guys have any questions, Reese is nothing but a nice dude. Shoot him a DM on Instagram, and I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to you about it. Well, I don't really have anything left. I just wanted to say thanks thanks for you for coming on.
I know y'all are trying to do some big things. We got some things planned in the future, and I'm
definitely.
Y'all are going to end up with this, and I've heard a little bit behind the scenes, and I won't say too much, but I know it's coming. So y'all got some good things planned for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure to see. I'm excited to see where y'all are going to be in another year. So keep doing your thing, and I know y'all are going to get there for sure.
Cool. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Y'all having me. Good night.
See ya.